Okay, let me
Thank
make you the
you.
presenter,
Okay.
and then you'll just share your screen.
Okay. Does it look good to go?
Yep,
All
you
right.
should be the presenter.
Okay. Hi, welcome. Thank you for joining us today for this Fuel Up to Play 60 presentation. I know time is really valuable, so I appreciate you taking yours today. In about 40 minutes, I'm hoping to answer or explain the Fuel Up to Play 60 program, and most importantly, explain our two grant opportunities that we do have available right now. So with that, I will go ahead and get started. So we were going to do a quick poll, I guess, to just see the demographics of who is listening in and if you are a Fuel Up to Play school. And I guess when you see those pop up on the screen, you can answer those questions.
Denise, can you go ahead and share your screen as well?
Oh, I am. It looks like it's not showing.
No, you'll want to go up to Quick Start on the top left, and then you'll click Share Screen or Share Desktop.
Okay, where would that be?
It would be a button right in the middle.
Because my screen it's just up and showing, so I must need to go out.
You'll want to go to the WebEx Event Center.
Okay. So I'll just...
You can minimize the presentation for now just so you can find the button.
Okay. Okay. Oh, do I need to click on Share My Desktop?
Yes, that'd be perfect.
Oh.
Okay, and then you'll just pull up that presentation. Perfect.
Okay. All right. So then you'll start with the poll.
Yes, so I have the poll going.
Okay, and I can't see that.
Okay. It's just getting ready to, there we go. I'll share it with everybody.
Okay.
And can you see the poll results now?
Yes.
Perfect.
Okay, so do I need to announce those or just?
You can. Everybody else can see them as well. We can see that we have
everybody can see them. Okay.
Yep.
Okay,
Perfect.
and then we'll just do one last poll to see the Fuel Up to Play schools. Thank you.
No problem.
So when those come up, then I'm ready to begin.
Yeah, I'll stop that one, and then we can show everybody. It looks like we have one person saying yes, they already are a Fuel Up to Play 60 school, one is not, and then some people have not answered.
Okay. All right, so I'll just proceed ahead then?
Yes.
All right. Okay, thank you. Sorry about that little bit of confusion. We will proceed along. And so thank you for answering the poll questions. Those just help us know who our audience is and if you are familiar with the program. But it looks like many are not. So what is Fuel Up to Play 60? It is an in-school nutrition and physical activity program. This is a free program that's designed to help schools develop just a healthier school environment. The program emphasizes small, gradual changes to create a healthier school environment, and it's a partnership between the NFL and the National Dairy Association, and our funding is provided locally by the Western Dairy Association, which includes Montana, Wyoming, and Colorado. And so our program is unique in that it is focused on youth within the school, and it's youth-led. We promote youth engagement, but the students need to team up with adults in the school, and together the students and the adults are empowered to create a healthier school environment. And in order to do that, Fuel Up to Play 60 offers grants, incentives, and rewards to schools. And you can see a picture on my screen here. This is from Hobson Elementary School, and they just recently received some grant money to help with their school garden. And so you can see the kids there with their shirts on, and then them being active in the garden with their program advisor, Vera Benson. So what does Fuel Up to Play 60 actually mean? Well, 5 years ago, the NFL and the Dairy Council joined forces, and the Fuel Up part is eating nutrient-rich foods, and the Play 60 part is to be active at least 60 minutes every day. So they are a partnership now, so we want the nutrition piece and the activity piece together. So let's just take a look at why this program is so important. And if you look at, these are the Centers for Disease Control obesity tracking slides. And if you look, I pulled up 1990, and you can see along the bottom of where it says the colors equals less than 10%, that's the percentage of people that are overweight or obese in those states. And you can see in 1990, we had several of the light blue and then just a little bit of the darker blue, but certainly, and that was so basically in 1990, all states had 14% or below obesity rates. And so then if you want to fast forward just 10 years, you can see that one state, Colorado, is the only state that stayed in the 10 to 14% obesity range, and then all other states jumped up. Most of the western half of the United States, this were 15 to 19% obesity, and then you can see the yellow is 20 to 24%. And when we're up around 24%, you can think, I mean, that's 1 in 4 adults with obesity. So the most current one, fast move ahead to 2014, is the last. Is the closest one I've seen on the CDC website. And so this is our data from 2014, and then the category colors have moved over to the right-hand side of your screen, and you can see there's no more blue categories because there's nothing under, just the green polka dot is the under 20%, but the majority of states are in the 30 to 35% obesity, and then we even have 3 states that are recording greater than 35% obesity: Arkansas, Mississippi, and West Virginia. And so that just tells you, even though we have so much nutrition information and so much information on how important it is to exercise, our obesity rates continue to climb and climb and climb. And you have to remember, when the CDC does these obesity charts, the way they do that is they call people on the phone and ask them their height and weight. And so most people underestimate their weight. So most people believe that these obesity rates could be even much higher. So that's the reason why having a program like Fuel Up to Play 60 in the schools, teaching the kids at a young age how to make good, nutritious, healthy food choices in conjunction with keeping their bodies active is a very, very important. So here's just now what I've told you, kind of listed out. No state was under 20% obesity. 7 states had 20 to 25%, so 1 in 4. 23 states had 25 to 30%, 19 states 30 to 35, and then 3 states, like I said, were, I said Alabama, I think it was Arkansas, 35% or greater. So obesity is a crisis in our country. And so when we've talked to educators about the Fuel Up to Play 60 program, when it's active in their schools, 73 say that they believe that it does positively influence their school environment. 70% say that it helps them achieve their school wellness goals, and 47% say it positively impacts academic performance. So those are good things. So we see positive changes happening in the schools that are doing Fuel Up to Play 60, and these are, so we have smoothies, we have breakfast in the classroom, making recess more active. These are just some of our action plans or plays that we call it, and I'll explain more about those that schools can work on doing. So how do you get Fuel Up to Play 60 started in your school? It's all done online through the website initially. And so you would go to our fueluptoplay60.com, and I'll show you that site in a moment, and you'll be completing, you'll get logged in, and it will show you that to do our program, there are 6 steps to the whole comprehensive program. Now, these 6 steps can be done in any order, and there is no time limit on when you do it. And the only step that has to be done in order to apply for grant money is the first step, and that's joining the league. And I will explain each of these steps and how to go about doing them. And then as the school finishes each of these steps, and then you check them off, and then they will be lit up. And so then you know how many steps you've completed. But like I said, we're working on slow, gradual changes, and we're not asking schools to feel like they have to do an entire overhaul. That's too overwhelming, too time-consuming, and we don't, that's not what we're pushing for. We are encouraging small changes that really make a difference, and I'm going to explain specifically what some of those changes might be. But I just wanted you to see the 6 steps, and probably the biggest thing I get as the consultant, the question is, do I have to do all 6 steps before I apply for grant money? And the answer is no. You only have to have the first step done, and now I'll go ahead and show you how to do that step. So step 1 would be, it's called joining the league. And remember, all our terminology is football terminology. So you're going to join the league. And that would be that we need a person within the school that's employed by the school to sign up to be a program advisor. And that is really important. We can't, a parent can't do it, a community member can't do it. They can sign up to be supporters of the program, but they cannot be program advisors. We have to have an employed person in the school, and it can be a PE teacher, it can be the school nurse, it can be, I have sometimes the superintendents, principals, but it has to be someone within the school. And here's just a picture of Kyle Pryor and his students from Miles City. They've been very active in Fuel Up to Play 60 and have seen some fantastic changes at their school. So if you go to the website, the fueluptoplay60.com website, this is the screen that you will see, and it just says welcome, and then you're going to say you want to join, and then it'll say I am, and you'll select your role. And this is not an active screen right now, but basically your 2 choices, you would select a student or an adult. And so obviously you would say an adult, and then it will lead you through, do you want to be the program advisor, and so on, and you just follow the steps, and then it'll come up, you'll put in your zip code, and it'll show your school, and you'll click on that, and it'll show you're signed up as the program advisor for your school. And I'll tell you what the program advisor, the crucial role, each school needs to have one program advisor in order to apply for grant money and to really be the program champion. And so there's 4 things that the program advisor does, and that is serves as the program champion for their school. They engage the students as they help activate the program. They also encourage other adults to get involved, and then they are the ones that apply for the grant money. So then the second step in the process would be to draft players. So at the beginning I said this is a student-led program with the assistance of adults, but getting the kids to understand what is Fuel Up to Play, how to join, how to start helping, identify initiatives and things that you can do in your school to make a healthier environment. And the students sign up the exact same way I just showed you on the screen, except they would put that they're a student. And then step 3 is what we call the kickoff. And like I said, these steps can be done in any order and on any time frame, but this can be, it does not have to be an over-the-top event. It can be, but we, like in Miles City, their kickoff event was they had all the kids wear some kind of a sports team jersey, their favorite sports team jersey on a Friday, and then they all got together and talked about the Fuel Up to Play program, why it's important to eat right and keep your body healthy, how students can get signed up, and simply did something like that. Another school had a smoothie tasting kickoff party, and so it's really up to you how big or how small you want to do, but basically the point of it is to have a school-wide event to build visibility and excitement about the Fuel Up to Play Succeed program in the school. And then the fourth step is what we call Survey the Field. Now, we call this the School Wellness Investigation, and it's a step-by-step thing that you fill out. But basically, you want to look at what you're doing well in your school as far as wellness and identify then the areas that maybe aren't so well. So, for example, maybe you find out that kids are getting a lot of food as a reward, like a lot of candy or soda or ice cream as a reward for good academics, for being on the honor roll, et cetera. Well, say you think, wow, that would be something we could really change. We could switch to having non-food rewards, having maybe a smoothie party and bingo instead of a party with pizza and soda and cupcakes, et cetera. That's a small, simple change that your school could notice that you're doing and work towards doing something different. So you'll want to, the School Wellness Investigation helps you discover the strengths and the needs, what is the current nutrition and physical activity environment, and then you can identify opportunities for change. And as you go through each of these steps, when you're on the site and you click on the actual little circle with the step, it tells you exactly what you need to do. And then you, as the program advisor or whoever the program advisor is at your school, would check those off. It's just on your honor type of thing, and then when those are checked off, that little circle will light up. So it's up to you. After you do each of these things, it's the program advisor that would check each of those circles off. Okay, so then the next step, step 5, is what we call game time. This is the action part of it. This is where you decide what are we going to do to make some healthy changes at our school. So when you're after you've signed up to be part of Fuel Up to Play 60, what you'll have is this screen. This is a sample of it, and it's called your dashboard. And this is going to show you all different information about the activity that's going on at your school, what other adults have signed up, what challenges your kids are doing. And so your dashboard will show you all that. But on the dashboard right now, I've clicked on what we call the playbook. And so you can see across the top, it says about, get involved, playbook, funding, donate tools, et cetera. So I'm on the playbook part. The playbook basically is action plans and ideas for making a healthy change in your school. So it's not like a theatrical play or an acting out play. It's just, that's the terminology. A play means action plan or initiative, I would say. And so we at Fuel Up to Play 60 have come up with the plays that we have found work well in schools. So you don't have to create your own or reinvent the wheel. You can just look on this website, and this is just only showing 3 of the 10 available, but you can click on those and read exactly about breakfast anytime, anywhere. See what it means. Look to see if that's something that your school would like to do. All the schools are unique, and so you have to decide, your school has to decide which would fit best into your school. And so this is just a sampling, like I said, but all of the plays are explained here. And so what we want to have schools do, and especially if you're going to apply for grant money, you have to pick one healthy eating play, and then you ask for grant money for that. And then we'll talk about the one physical activity play, and then you ask for funding for that. So right here, so and these are the plays from last year, and the new plays for this year should be up. I was thinking it would be today, but hopefully by the end of the week. And so because these plays are tied to our grant applications, and so once these plays, our new plays for this 2016-17 come up, then, and you'll be able to access those just like I showed you under plays, then the grant will be opened as well. And so what we ask schools to do is to identify one of the 5 of these things that they would like their school to work on. So for example, Hobson School did farm to table. They ask for grant money to help with potting soil, seeds, gloves. They have a local greenhouse that lets them plant their garden, so they received funding for that. And then here, the picture with the boys and the milk cooler in the back, that was Miles City. The play they picked was Breakfast Anytime, Anywhere. And they asked for funding to start a school breakfast program, which they did. And they asked for money to get this milk cooler so that they could store and serve milk in an attractive way so that kids would be more apt to drink more milk and eat a healthy breakfast. So then we'll look down here. So there's also healthy foods everywhere in school, and then fuel up your community. And then the Snack Smarter at School, Hellgate Middle School, decided that was the play that they wanted to work on this year, and so they asked for funds and were awarded money to purchase, as you see on the left, a very nice smoothie machine and a cart, and they sell those smoothies, and we provided the money to get the initial setup. The Fuel Up to Play 60 program did, and then they sell the smoothies just a little over cost so that they can continue to buy their ingredients, and they buy 100% fresh fruit puree from Dr. Smoothie, and it's really simple. You just blend it with ice, and they're ready to go. But they identified that would be a healthy snack at their school, and so they got funding for that. And then in the right-hand corner, you can see when they did their kickoff, they did smoothie samples for all the kids, which was a real hit. So then so you pick one healthy eating play, and then you can pick one physical activity play that you would like to ask for funding for. And I'm going to explain how exactly you do the funding in just a moment, but these are the plays. And so there's the Let's Dance, there's a Walk, Run for Wellness Club, and like I said, these are the 5 initiatives or plans that we have found really work well in schools. And the Walk, Run for Wellness Club is very popular. It's like the 100-mile club where kids can just come and they can walk before school, during recess, they can walk after school, and then they can get little prizes for the distance that they go. And so Fuel Up to Play 60 will help if a school wants to start a Walk, Run Wellness Club, then schools can ask for grant money to maybe buy a giant whiteboard so they can record the kids' information, maybe buy pedometers, buy little prizes to give to the kids as they reach certain amount of miles. And so that's that one. And then probably the most popular one that I've worked with schools on is this Ramp Up for Recess. And several schools in Montana have been granted money for this physical activity initiative, and that is we provide money for schools to buy recess equipment to get kids moving more on the playground. And in this picture, these are all from Hellgate Middle School. They definitely noticed when the kids got to middle school, their activity decreased. They were just standing around, not doing anything at recess. And so they applied for grant money and got it. And boy, did it make a huge difference. Just within the first couple of days, the rest of the staff were noticing how the kids were moving out on the playground. They were playing volleyball, ball, and then part of their money that they used to buy this nice equipment cart with all these small balls and paddles and jump ropes, and it's really made a difference. So those are just a sampling of things that schools could start and then could ask for money for. And in my experience as a school wellness coordinator for the 12 years that I was in it, we made small gradual changes over those 12 years, and change is always hard. People don't like change, but gradual change is important. And then what I noticed for us is we kind of sputtered along, our school wellness team, and we did. But then once we got a grant, we got a $5,000 grant from Montana Team Nutrition to really implement some healthy initiatives, buy smoothie makers, buy some equipment, buy classroom education materials. That's when it really took off. And that's what I love about Fuel Up to Play 60 is we give you the great ideas, but we also offer you the ability to apply for grant money. And I think that's critical. And so basically, like I said, the only stipulation for applying for grant money is to get signed up online for the program and have a program advisor. And then you can apply for up to $4,000 a year. We have 2 application deadlines. One is in June and one is in November. So very, very soon, our application that will be due in June should be up on the website, and that is, you can apply for that. And then if you miss that date, and then there's another opportunity to apply in November. And so $4,000 a year, and the program advisor must be the one that is applying for the grant. So this is just a sample from the actual web page that you would see as you're working on this. But so it says the next application is coming out soon. It's not out. And then, but all you have to do is enroll in the Fuel Up to Play 60 program and then have your registered program advisor. And you also do have to be a participant in the National School Lunch Program in order to get in order to apply. So those are just the 3 requirements. And the first step is, like I just went through, you have to select a healthy eating play and a physical activity play, because that's what your grant money, what you're going to ask for in your grant money, and that will come from that playbook once it's available. So I have to say I'm really excited for Montana schools and for the future of Montana schools, because in 2015 and 2016, Fuel Up to Play 60 has given $30,260 to just 11 Montana schools. And we have given this to the Miles City, Missoula, Troy, Great Falls, Polson, Bozeman, and Hobson. And I've had the pleasure of working with each of those schools and seeing what they're doing with their grant money. And as far as filling out the grant, it takes probably about an hour and a half to 2 hours to actually enter everything online. I suggest that people print off a copy of it, which is available on our website, and then just go and get all the data filled out ahead of time, because you're going to need stuff like your school lunch participation, your free and reduced lunch. You're going to need some data from the school in order to apply. So it does take some time, but it's not really cumbersome. And part of my job as a consultant is to help schools. And so I'm available for you to call and ask questions, and I meet with schools, talk to people on the phone in order to help you do that grant. So the funding opportunities are competitive, and they're awarded based on the quality of the application and the proposed use of funds. Obviously, we want it to benefit the whole school, and so we want the application to show us very specifically what you're going to do with your funds and how you're going to make changes at your school. And so the more thought out your application is, the better. And so like here, Hobson, we got word that Hobson was serving their milk out of like a little Coleman cooler. And so I worked with the food service director, Vera, and she applied for grant money and got this beautiful milk cooler. And then in addition, she also got, like I said, her stuff for her garden. And so her grant was very well laid out. We knew exactly what she was going to do with the money and that it would benefit the whole school. Okay, so now I'm going to completely switch gears and explain a very special grant offer that we have available. And this is something different than just our standard twice-a-year grant of $4,000. This is a $35 million grant that was granted by the USDA, and this is a special grant for schools. And this grant, one of the big differences is a school does not have to have a program advisor in order to apply. Mostly the people that are applying for this grant are food service directors, because this is specific nutrition equipment, and to help the schools increase school lunch and school breakfast, make it healthier, better participation. So basically it's saying that this special nutrition equipment grant, the purpose is to assist schools in getting equipment that will enhance the long-term implementation of school breakfast and lunch program. So this equipment grant opportunity is being run through our website as well, but it is different than our normal June and November up to $4,000, and I just want to make that really clear. And then it's also different because you don't have to figure out how you're going to activate plays in your school, or you don't need a program advisor for this opportunity. And so this is exactly what if you logged on to FuelUpToPlay60.com, you would see this page, and then you can see Fuel Up to Play and the USDA have announced a $35 million nutrition equipment grant, and then check out our funding page. And so you would click on learn more about grants, the little white box, and then that would take you to the information that you would need to get started. And that's going to look like this. Now, through our website, the Fuel Up to Play 60 website, we are just offering the under $5,000 equipment grant. If you're looking for a large piece of equipment that's over $5,000, that's going to be through, right here it says the USDA's equipment grant page. That is not through Fuel Up to Play. We are only $5,000 and below for equipment. And in order to apply for this grant, for this equipment grant, the school district just has to be located in the U.S. The school must be in the National School Lunch Program, and it can include any K through 12 grade. But like I said, no program advisor is needed in this grant. So basically, you can, June 30th is the deadline, and we won't be reviewing any of the grant applications till after that deadline. So if it's in by June 30th, you are good to be considered, and it's the same thing. You want to make sure it's clear and concise and done well so that we know exactly how the money that would be given would be spent. And so this grant application is only 5 pages, and it's not time-consuming at all. So here you can just click on, this isn't active, but anyhow, you can just click on Get Started, and it'll take you through the 5 pages that you need. And basically you're identifying a piece of equipment that you would need to enhance your programs, your school lunch and breakfast program, and then the price of that equipment, and that's what you're asking for. So hopefully that there's a distinction between the 2 grant opportunities, and the normal Fuel Up to Play 60 grant of $4,000 a year runs every June and every November, just continuously. This grant is just available up until June 30th, the equipment grant. And then here I just was showing, this is a bunch of our Fuel Up to Play 60 equipment, and we do in our $4,000 grants, like you'd seen, we do allow schools to pick, and we do fund this type of equipment as well. But with the $5,000 grant, you could also get the Fuel Up to Play 60 equipment, but you don't have to. Some schools are asking for different types of equipment like a warmer or slicers or whatever, but I just wanted to kind of show you what things we do have available with the Fuel Up to Play logos on them. All right, so now with that, hopefully there's a clear understanding of the two grant opportunities. Both are going to be due in June. One is specifically for equipment, and then the other is for helping making healthy eating and physical activity changes in your school. And then we're back to just the sixth step in the process that I was talking about, and that is basically just sharing your successes. And you will just basically type in what you did, send some pictures, just let other schools know what you did that was successful, and then you can also look at other schools and see what they're doing to get some ideas. So then, this is just an example of Hobson School. They just completed all their 6 steps. And so you can see now all of those circles are lit up because they did every one of those things. And so now they're considered a touchdown school, and they can get a big Fuel Up to Play 60 banner and some other things that go along with that. But please do remember that it's up to the program advisor to come to click on each of these steps, follow what it says, and then check it off. You have to check off what you're doing. We don't keep track of that. That's what you keep track of, and it's just the honor system basically to become a touchdown school. So you complete all 6 steps, and you are a touchdown school. And Hellgate Middle School just became a touchdown school. Miles City is a touchdown school. So we're doing some good things here in Montana. So the next piece I want to go to, we talked about it's a student-led program, and this slide looks crazy and busy, and don't even try to read everything on it. But basically, students sign up on the website the exact same way that an adult did. This is going to be their dashboard. Students, unlike adults, are able to earn points towards the Fuel Up to Play 60 program, and then they can win a bunch of different things for doing that. And so kids are encouraged to sign up online, and then they start to earn points, and they can earn different point levels based on maybe getting the word out at their school, maybe starting a group that is going to work together to think of what their school might need for healthy eating and physical activity initiatives. They would help the program advisor. If you decide we're going to do a smoothie cart, they would help maybe run that smoothie cart, and they would get points for that. Basically, it's just many different ways for kids to earn points in the program. And the more points they earn, the more rewards they get. And I'll show you a little bit about that. So, yeah, this is the Student Reward and Advisor Incentive Program. So our program advisors also have some great incentives. They also get to go to some of these Denver Bronco games as their students become really engaged in the program. So you can win gift cards and Bronco tickets, and you could go to a game. These are our Montana kids and our program advisors at the Denver Bronco Stadium. And so because the program is based out of Colorado, the Western Dairy, everything is affiliated with the Denver Broncos. And the Montana youth have been very involved, and we've had kids. You can see Drew here. He has his little sash on that says State Ambassador. That means he did so much in the program and he earned so many points, he got the designation of State Ambassador. And then that gave him the opportunity to speak at several different schools and go to different events. And he got to, here he is up here at the Denver Broncos game. And then also, this is a really amazing thing for the kids and the program advisors. We have an annual leadership summit that kids apply to go to, and their program advisor would accompany them, and it's an all-expense-paid trip. This year it's in Indiana at Purdue University, and the kids learn about leadership and communication and really how to get Fuel Up to Play more active in their in their schools. And so this is a picture of kids from all over the country that were chosen to come to this summit. And I have not had the opportunity to go, but it looks like an unbelievable experience, and the kids from Montana that have done it and the program advisors can't say enough about it. So that's just one of the rewards for being very, very engaged as a student in this program. So this is what the students would see about the ambassador program, and they know how many points they would have to earn in order to do that. So it's all just doing as little or as much as you are motivated to do with this program. And you can see here, these were the summit ambassadors, and we had 3 that went from Montana. And then these are our new state ambassadors, and both of those kids are from Miles City under the direction of program advisor Kyle Pryor, who has just been super active and engaged in the program, and it shows because his kids have year after year had the opportunity to do some great things. And then I'm going to just finish off with, we talk so much about having healthy initiatives in the school and health and physical activity, but then we see so many schools that are doing so many great things towards wellness, but then they need a fundraiser, and so they are selling cookie dough or candy, or basically unhealthy foods, and as a fundraiser. And those things, they sell, and people say, oh, but they're just so easy, and they sell, and the kids aren't really eating them. I mean, I've heard every rationale in the book for doing that, but I guess my main message to schools, if you are working on a healthy school environment, why aren't you having a consistent message then with what you're selling for a fundraiser? And Fuel to Play 60 has a partnership with a fundraising company called Brax, and basically it just provides schools with the opportunity to have a healthy fundraiser. And so, very simple, you either get a 4-pack of cups or a 2-pack of travel mugs, and they're very sturdy, very dishwasher safe, they last forever type of cups. And you can get any team, any college team, all the branches of the military, and it's just been very successful because the kids just have an order form. You can pick whatever one you want. You have 2 choices, and then the Brax fundraising, the PTA usually runs these type of programs, and then they gather the kids what they've sold. The Brax fundraising packages it per student, so the PTA is not sorting out a bunch of stuff, and then the student delivers it to the customer. So it's very easy. I've talked to several PTAs that have been just thrilled with it. And last year, 2 Montana schools were top in the entire nation for fundraising with this program. That was Laurel Elementary, and then also Edgerton Elementary in Kalispell. Look how much money they raised. This was their take-home after the fundraiser, $24,000, $22,000. And then also the student winners, the top student winners were from Lockwood and Laurel, and they each got an NFL shop gift card and autographed football. And then each of these schools got gift certificates and prizes for being the top sellers as well. And so the neat thing, and then in the past 2 years, 2014-15, actually 4 Montana schools were top in the nation. And so this has been an excellent fundraiser for our schools. And then what's really great about it, not only that it's easy, that the PTA is encouraged by this fundraising company to use some of this money for healthy initiatives in the school. And so it not only is a healthy fundraiser, it also gives back to the school for healthy initiatives as well. So with that, I hope I've given an overview of the program and you understand how to apply for grant money. All of that is done through the website online, but I'm always available to speak to you. You can email me or call me, and I'll give you that information on my next slide. But right now I was hoping to entertain any questions.
And you can go ahead and type those in the chat box, and we can read them aloud and answer them. I don't see any so far.
Oh, well, that's good.
Will
I see those on my screen, or just you're going to read them to me?
You will. Well, you're in a full screen mode, so I can just read them to you if we get any.
Oh, perfect. Okay.
We also have one more poll if we wanted to do a poll.
Yeah.
And this one might get cut off, but it's, do you feel that you understand how to apply for Fuel to Play 60 funds after watching this or attending this webinar? So go ahead and just say yes, no, or if you have any questions about applying. Because one person said yes. Okay, we'll give you just a couple more minutes to finish up voting, or a couple more seconds. Okay. We'll go ahead and close it. So it looks like we had one person says, I still have some questions about applying.
Okay.
So if they have any questions, they can go ahead and type them in.
Okay.
Or of course, they can contact you directly.
Yeah, and I'll switch to my final slide, which shows my contact information, email, and my cell phone number. And I'm happy to, a lot of times what I do, if it's, not a close proximity to me, I just have a phone call with you, and if you're if you're the program advisor, if you're in front of your screen and I'm in front of mine, we can walk through everything you need to know really in a half hour, and that's what I found most successful. So I'm happy to, if you want to contact me, I'm happy to help you get things started.
All right, perfect. Well, thank you so much for talking to us today. It was a great presentation. I think we all learned a bunch. And just again, if anyone has any questions, don't hesitate to contact either Denise or I, and we'll get back to you. All right. Thank you for attending.
Okay, thank you very much.
Bye-bye.
Bye.